Hello, good morning, everyone. This is Precious. This is a Nebosh IGC. In case you're just watching it, I'm taking a course. I'm just explaining this course material. RRC is usually given to every student taking the Nebosh by their course providers. It's an ebook like this. In case you are taking the Nebosh IGC and you don't have it and maybe you need it, you can send me an email. I'll just send it to you. It's not mine, so I don't have the right to sell it, and so it's just for free. You can check out my previous courses for the introductory part of this. My previous videos, sorry, for the introductory part of this course. I will just take a recap of the previous videos. I said in the previous videos, I said health and safety is involves different disciplines coming together to form the backbone. You have the physics, you have the chemistry, you have the biological part, you have psychology, you have law, you know, you have all of these things coming together to form the backbone of this health and safety course. And I also said that health and safety can also have barriers which are complexity of the workplace, conflicting and competing demands and behavioral issues. Complexity of the workplace involving where too many activities can be going on at the same time, and then maybe one activity has a way of interfering with the other and in a way that it may not be safe, and then competing and conflicting demands where the in the course of trying to meet demands, trying to will I say maximize profit and all of that, and then as a result, health standards are compromised, and then behavioral issues. This is when the workers are not careful or don't act in the way they should do, or do not take caution for the things they do and the things they do not do. You know, um, a lot of things can lead to behavioral issues, though. We'll see that as we go down in this book. For some reason, I'm going to be very fast because the video sizes are large, and this book is too much. We have to move as quick as possible. So I'll continue now. We've talked of environmental protection, health, these basic definitions, and all that. Now, here is a question: why might the management of an organization not consider health and safety to be a priority? Now, this question can likely be a Nebosh exam question, and it's very necessary that you practice these questions when you see them. Now, the reason why an organization might not consider health and safety to be a priority is because most organizations, like I said, consider profit making as a topmost priority. And because health and safety, investing in health and safety is not a direct profit venture, in the sense that when you buy your personal protective equipment, when you repair your faulty machines, when you buy your machine guard or ensure that your buy those equipments that will ensure that your workplace is safe enough, it doesn't bring profit directly to the organization. And so because of that, most organizations do not prioritize health and safety, or they do not give health and safety the priority as they give to other objectives. This is the main reason. I hope you understand that. If you didn't understand that, you can get to me and I'll explain further. What I just simply said is health and safety is not a profit making venture, and so as a result, they do not give it the topmost priority. That's the main reason why they do not consider health and safety a priority. Now, yeah, we're going to look at the reasons for promoting good health and safety. The three major reasons in promoting good health and safety, look here, says the moral reasons. These are societal expectations, the duty owed from me to the other, me as a worker or me as an individual, but majorly the worker, the duty he owes to himself and the people around him. Yes, he should take caution for the things he does and the things he doesn't do. The society demands that. Yes. The second reason is the legal reason. or the social reason. This relates to the laws. Now, for every business or organization, there are laws that governs their working operations. Yes, you have the ILO, you have the ISO, you have the Occupational Safety and Health Act, that's the OSH Act. You have the administrative part of it. You have you even have your local authorities. Now, these are bodies, or these are authorities that give guidelines, rules, codes of practice to these business organizations, or firms or whatever, on how to run their business safely. Yes, these are legal reasons why they should practice health and safety, because if they do not comply with these reasons, they could be penalized, they could be fined, especially the employer or administrators of this business organization. Yes, complying with health and safety standards enables them meet their legal obligation. Yes, they have to meet up to their legal obligation, or else they are going to be penalized or fined depending on the severity of the violation. Now, the last one is the economic reasons. Economic reasons relates to the costs that arise as a result of not as a result of neglecting health and safety standards, because when health and safety standards are neglected, there are a lot of things that can there are a lot of dangers that could come with it. If there is a loss of life, maybe a worker dies, the employer will have to be fined, and maybe even face some jail terms. The cost part here involves direct and indirect cost. There are two parts of it. These two factors are the economic reasons that relates to why health and safety should be practiced in the workplace. Yes, if a company or an organization really wants to make profit, they should practice health and safety, because if they don't, when the damages, or when the dangers, or when the accidents or incidents occur, and there are damages, the severity or the cost of repairing these damages are always more compared to the cost of putting safe health and safety standards in place. It is far more. So it's always best to comply with health and safety standards, because it's a lot cheaper and saving yourself from issues. Now, this one, the size of the problem. Like, these things are not really necessary most times to bother yourself with them. It's good if you read them, but Nebosh wouldn't really require this of you in the exam. You can just read them. Maybe you pause the video and read it if you want, but they won't ask you these things on the exam. You know, like I said earlier, these are the societal expectations of the health, and you know, one of the reasons why health and safety are practiced, moral reasons. Yeah. Talk of the Now we're going to talk of the duties of an employer on the employee. This is one of the first four duties. The first four duties: you have safe place of work, safe plant and equipment, safe system of work. Now, safe system of work, and then the last one, training, competence, instruction, and the last one is supervision, and the last one is provision of personal protective equipment. Though they didn't state it here, but that's part of it. Now, a, a place of work has to be safe. The surrounding, there should be security measures in place. The worker has to feel safe that the risk there is tolerable, is reduced to a certain extent, and he should be able to. There should be absence of fear that something might happen or anything like that. Yes, there should be policies on ground to ensure that workers not work in certain conditions, under any kind of conditions that do not are not safe at all. For example, no worker should work with a bad tool, or no worker should work in an environment, do any electrical work in a wet environment. Yes, no worker should, things like that. Then the second one, safe plant and equipment. Every photo equipment should be repaired to make them safe. No machine should have its dangerous part exposed. It should have guards. There should be what they call machine guards. They are what they call machine guards, fixed guard, interlocking guards. Every machine should have them, especially machines with dangerous moving parts. Yes, that's another one. They should also have this safety approved markings on them, like the CE marking, conformance European. That's conformance to European standards. You should find some of these things on them. Yes, every equipment should be safe for use in the workplace. Then the last one is safe system of works. The working procedures of the place of a workplace should be safe. Yes, that's one of another one too. The system applied before a job is done, especially a high risk job. There should be work permits. There should be a risk analysis conducted to ensure that the place is safe for work. The hazards and dangers should be highlighted first. And lastly, um, okay, not lastly, but training, supervision, and competency of staff. The workers should be trained, supervised, instructed to ensure their competence. When you employ a worker, it is the duty of the employee to train him to ensure that he is good enough for that job. Yes. So yes, it is. If there is any change to the job, change of machinery, change of equipment, the worker should be retrained again. Yes, there should also be refresher trainings, you know, different kind of trainings that will ensure that he is competent for that job. He has the experience, he knows his limitations, best work practices and all of that. He should be trained. He should be trained by the employer to ensure that he's good enough for that job. Then the last one is provision of protective equipment and personal protective equipment. Now it's not written down here, but that's always the last line of defense in health and safety. Ensure that the PPE, the appropriate PPE, is given to the workers, and they should not be charged for it. This is the absolute duty. These are absolute duties of the employee, of the employer to the employee. This is not all of them, but this is one of the four of them majorly. And now these are likely exam questions, so you should take note of them and the examples I gave along with the explanation too. Because there are four duties of an employer to an employee. You have the absolute duty, you have the reasonable duty, you have the practicable duty, and you have the reasonable practicable duty. Now the absolute duties are duties that must be met irrespective of cost, or what will I call it now? Irrespective of cost, or however the employer has to do them. Yes, it takes no consideration of the challenges involved in meeting these duties, but he must meet them. That's what absolute duties. And these four or five I mentioned are absolute duties. When I come in the next class, we'll be talking on direct, indirect, insured, and uninsured costs that arises from not meeting up to health and safety standards. Thank you. Have a good day.